I remember the first time I sat down and photo read, I got so much anxiety because when you're working full time, your study hours are so precious. And I remember even telling you, what did I just do? Well, like, what was that? But when it clicked for me was when I started writing essays and the rules flowed out. And when I would do MBE questions, the wrong answers would like slap me in the face. And I would be able to get it down to two answers and just make that quick decision. And I realized that when I would second guess myself and think too hard, I would always get that question wrong. And with essays, it just, the knowledge really came out of nowhere. You got to the point where those outlines, like, you just knew where the answers were. And so I think that it's a faith move because it's very uncomfortable. It's something that you've never done before, but it worked. I look at my essay scores. It worked. Like, it just worked.
Yeah.
I don't know how it worked. It just worked. It was worth it. Like, that money, I don't even think about it right now. It was an investment in my future, and it worked.
Well, let's talk a little bit about photo reading, because that's a very different technique, something you'd never experienced before. What was that like for you?
Well, if I'm being completely honest, at first I was like, these hippies, what are they talking about? This is not true. Like, come on. And then I started, visualizing like the readings. And it was so fast. And I was so mad. Why I didn't know this when I was in law school? Oh my God. But you need to put aside, that sense of skepticism. You need to be like, okay, I'm going to be open-minded. I'm going to try it. And it works. It works. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not a scientist, but it truly works. Like, I remember, and I don't know if I sent you an email or something like that. Like, I was doing an essay and I photo read the essay, and the answers started, like, I could even remember the number of the rule. I got scared at that moment. I was like, oh my God, how? And it was, in fact, the rule that my brain was like, hey, here it is, pretty clear, come on. I mean, it works. It's worth every penny.
I'd say it's a different approach to absorbing copious amounts of material. I think it's really being mindful of the task and the information that you're trying to absorb at a particular resource, and being effective in the way that you understand it, you learn it, and apply it, I think is the best way I can describe it, at least from my experience. And so I signed up for the course and was very diligent in practicing it every day. And I think as I got into it and was skimming through the material, by kind of letting go of traditional ways of learning, that how much I was able to remember, or at least trust myself that I was able to remember. And I even remember sitting during the exam, getting a new topic and not being terrified of the complexities of the issue, because it's like I have it in my brain. I have been practicing. I have been consistent. I've used this new method where I can recall the information without any sort of forced concentration. I will be okay. Yeah, I did definitely say my MBE score went up dramatically from previous attempts. I remember, I think one of the final practice exams, remember taking it with years ago with another bar review course. Because I remember the questions after I went through and reviewed it. And I think I improved my score maybe by like 50, 60 points. And I was like, oh, I can actually do this. It's the first time I actually felt that. And even during the exam, it was so easy to go through the different answer choices because things literally jumped off the page for me. And I finished, within 2 hours.